Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. This is Mohammad Badruddin back again, and today we are going to solve lab number 2 from API testing module from the Portswigger. So in this lab, we need to find out and exploit an unused API endpoint. To solve the lab, exploit a hidden API endpoint to buy a lightweight leather jacket, and you can log into your own account using the following credential. To solve the lab, you must have prior knowledge about these 3 points, like how to use error messages to construct a valid request and how HTTP methods are used by RESTful API. The third point is how changing the HTTP method can reveal additional functionality. So we will see that in a minute. So I already accessed the lab here. You can see this is our lab. I'm going to enable the burp proxy on my browser so we can capture all the traffic here. Okay, so let's go. First of all, I'm going to log into my account. Our username is Wiener and the password is Peter. Okay, login. And up to now, we did not find any API endpoint. So we keep browsing the application, all the features, all the links, every button, every functionality we will check, and hopefully we will get any API endpoint. This is the first thing. Second thing, you can go and you can try FUF tool or WFuzz tool. There are too many tools. Whatever you want, you can choose tool by your own, but you can fuzz the API endpoint. Fine. I already show you the fuzzing by using FUF tool in the previous lab, lab number 1. So if you did not watch that video, I will recommend you to go and watch that video. You will get the idea. Okay, so right now I'm going to change my email to cybersec@radar.xr. Let's update the email. And once we update the email, it's going to send a post request to that endpoint. And here also we do not have API endpoint. Fine. So I'm going back to the home button and there are too many products. Fine. So I'm just going to see this product detail, because to solve the lab we need to purchase this product, but the price of this product is very high, $1,337, and in our credit score there is no balance, we have $0. Fine. So we need to find out a way in which we can manipulate the price of the product. Fine. So let's see. First of all, I'm going to view the detail and you can see the price is already here. But once we view the product, you can see we have here one request which contains API endpoint, right? So the URI is like API/products/1/price. Fine. What this one is, I can imagine that this one belongs to the product ID. So if you go to the URL, you can see it contains one parameter and its value is 1, which is product ID. So this one may be the product ID. You can confirm it by going to check another product details. So once I go to this product, let's see, we will find here another API request or not. So you can see another API request is there and the product ID is 2. So that's confirmed that product ID is 2. So what this API is doing, it is not taking control of all of the request. No, this API is only used by this application to just fetch the price of the products, because you can see in the response section it contains only 2 parameters or 2 information. Okay, pricing and the message, that's it. So I'm going to send this request to the repeater and I'm going to send this request to the intruder too. Okay, so first of all, go to the repeater and I just want to send this request one more time, so we will be sure that okay, it's working fine. Now what I wanna test here is that if I want to manipulate this price, so we need to use a method here that is something like patch or post or put, something like this. So what I'm going to try, every HTTP method here and we will see what those methods give us the response. So I already sent this request to the intruder. I'm going to clear it and just choose this one and add it as the payload position. Now go to the payload, and here we can add all of the HTTP methods. So there is one method add, then we have get method, we have post method, we have put, patch, update, options, and let's say we have also delete. Okay, so these are the most common methods. I'm going to just start the attack and we will analyze the response. So as you can see, there is only one request, one method that has the status code 200. The rest of the methods have 405 status code. So as you can see, this has 405 status code, but if I go to the response, you can see method not allowed. Fine. Post is also not allowed, put is also not allowed. But if you see closely, there is one method that have status code 400. So let's see. Now you can see here, as before, we have method not allowed, but in patch it's not saying method not allowed. It's saying, it giving us one error, and the error is saying only application/JSON content type is supported. That means we need to go back to our repeater and we need to try patch here. Okay, and send this request. So once we send this request, now we know that patch method is allowed, but the problem is content type, and it is only supporting content type application/JSON. So we need to add here one header. Let's say the header name is content type. So I'm going to copy it and paste it here, then type E. Okay, and then I have to say application/JSON. Fine. Now let's try to send this request again and let's see what happened. Now it's saying internal server error. Why internal server error? Because if we are using patch method, then we must put here some data. Okay, so I'm going back to the correct request, which is get request, and from here I take this data. Okay, and go forward to this patch request where we add content type, and here in data I'm going to add this. Okay, fine, because the API is allowing us to send request with patch method, so we use patch method, but it requires some data, and the data must be something which is allowed by the API. That means we cannot put here, let's say instead of price, we cannot say here cost. No, because the valid parameter is price. Okay, so we need to just manipulate the price. We have nothing to do with the message, so I just delete that, and let's put it like this and send the request again. So now this time, instead of 500 internal server error, we got 400 status code, and it's saying bad request. Why? Because the error is saying price parameter must be valid non-negative integer. That means the API bring only the price, only this value. Okay, rest this dollar value is added by the application or any method which is going to manage this data, how this data is going to be rendered. Fine, we will see that in a minute, but the main thing is it needs non-negative and integer. So if it is not integer, we do not need to enclose it within the double quotes, because that is used for a string. Now I'm just going to delete this. So now the price is $1, and once we send the request, now this time we have status code 200, and you can see the request is successful and the price is settled. Okay, but one thing here, you can see I put here 1, but it's taking the value after the decimal. Although because we do not have any credit score, you can see here we do not have any credit score. Credit score is 0, so we need to make it 0. So I just put here 0, right? Send the request again, and this time you can see the price is 0. Now you can see the product ID, we manipulating the price of product ID 2. So back to the product ID 2, you can see the price of that product before was $1.26. Now if I refresh the page, you can see now the price is 0. Okay, but the thing which I was saying before, like let's say how this price is rendered in this form in as a string with $sign. So I'm back to this, I'm going back to the home, and let's see, inspect and go to the network and just refresh the page again. So you can see here there is product price.js file. Fine. And if I hover my cursor on this, or if I click it, you can see its endpoint is /resources/js/api/product price.js. I want to see this JS file. So I just copy this back here and paste it. So once we hit enter, this is the product price.js. Now if you scroll down, and it is actually generating a request or creating one request. So url.host means this one up to here. Then it's adding one endpoint, which is API, within API/products, and then it is calling the product ID with URI encoded, and then /price. So the parameter product ID value, whatever we have here, like let's see, if we click on the view details, so you can see product ID is equal to 1. So this is actually taking this parameter value. Okay, so I'm going to just paste that again. So it's taking that product ID value and then getting the price. Fine. So this is the thing. So if you go to the page source and if you just enumerate also the JavaScript files, you may find out the endpoint there. Okay. So there are many tools available on the internet which can enumerate JavaScript files to fetch the endpoints only. You can use any of these tools also by searching on the GitHub. Fine. So let's go back, and we already solved the lab, but we just need to make it official. Okay. So view detail. What I can do, just go to the Burp Suite, and instead of product 2, put the product ID 1, because this is the product ID of leather jacket, and content type is already set. Price is 0. Send this request, and as you can see, price is set to 0 back here. And if we just refresh this page again, you can see the prices are 0 now. So scroll down, add this to your cart, go to the cart, and you can see leather jacket. Okay, and the quantity is 1, price is 0. So whatever quantity you want, you can place it here, increase the quantity from here, and Just scroll down and place the order. And as you can see, we solved the lab. So that's it for this lab. If you have any query, please put your query in the comment section, and I'm going to see you in the next lab. Bye.